What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BTR podcast.
We got NFL free agency preview for you guys today. Heavy NFL pod. Before we get into that, please hit the like button and subscribe. And also check out our NHL trade deadline reaction video that we dropped on the weekend.
Yeah, NFL heavy for the next couple of days, weeks, whatever, how long this takes. Draft coming up, so stay tuned for that. This is the last bit of NFL content we could squeeze in before the next season will start. But let's get right into it. It's obviously re-signing period, the tagged players, for example.
We already knew
trades.
we already knew who's tagged.
Well, there's a new tag signing that happened.
Like someone signed for, yeah. But okay, let's just get into the biggest news. It's Chris Jones. As simple as that, right? We have to start with Chris Jones. 5 years, $160 million. Highest paid D tackle with, I think, $32 million per year if he gets all his money. I think if he gets it all guaranteed. Chris Jones, obviously, Chiefs' number one priority. They got it done. They tagged Snead already as well. So that opens up, Chris Jones' contract extension as well. Chris Jones himself saying, I'm not going anywhere. Hate me or love me, I ain't going anywhere. He is not. And honestly, other than Aaron Donald, who else deserves the highest D tackle money? It is Chris Jones. And I'm not surprised that he overtook Aaron Donald at all.
Someone always overtakes it. Like, look what happened. Patrick Mahomes got overtaken by multiple players. Do I still think Aaron Donald's the best guy? Yes. But at the end of the day, this guy's won 2 straight Super Bowls, 3 overall. If he wasn't there this past year, they definitely would have not won it. You saw the first game against the Lions of the year, how much it was impacted. 31.6 for Aaron Donald, so he only beat it by $400K. Again, if assuming he gets all of that, it is $95 million in guarantees though. But yeah, well-deserved contract. No surprises there. Chiefs, again, are going to be dangerous as long as you have Patrick Mahomes quarterbacking. You have Travis Kelce as an option one wide as a pass catcher, and you have Chris Jones leading the front line at the minimum. Overall defense for the Chiefs as well. They obviously locked up Steve Spagnuolo as well. You still have that continuity of the coach and player on the defensive side as well. So no surprises.
It's simple as this, right? Chiefs need Jones, Kelce, and Mahomes on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
If you don't have one of those three on the field, they're not winning shit.
Yeah.
So they had to get this done, and I'm glad they got it done.
The only thing the Chiefs need to address now, again, is that wide receiver.
Snead is their next address.
I was going to get
then
to
it's wide receiver.
But I'm saying, okay, wide receiver, and I was going to get to the cornerback.
Yeah, no, but if I'm ranking it, it's Snead.
I know, I wasn't ranking it, though.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I'm ranking it. It's Snead, then get your wide receiver.
So my point is they need to figure out the wide receiver position, and they need to figure out the cornerback/safety position, more so cornerback, because Snead, it's looking like he's gone right now. Assuming
I'm be really surprised if they find a way to get a contract extension.
That's what I'm saying.
Snead's like, pay me.
So so it looks like he's gonna be gone unless he really plays on the franchise tag, because there's 9 teams, including our Indianapolis Colts, in on him right now. And so I saw a prediction for the Chiefs. Let's just stick with the Chiefs for a second. Stephon Gilmore was the one that makes sense for them.
That's the most simplest one, right?
Short-term wise.
Yeah.
Unless they go out and trade for someone. There are Xavier Howard is out there available. Guys like that.
I feel like Gilmore is the best bet.
Yeah,
for them, yeah.
Proven guy. But yeah, so that's the Chiefs side of things. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Another player that got extended, who got franchise tagged, which happened immediately, was Justin Matabuki. 4 years, $98 million worth contract.
Justin Madubuike is a breakout year this year for Baltimore. Played on one of the best defenses in the league. Also was gonna get paid pretty well, and looks like he did.
He got $75.5 million.
He's only 26, right?
Yeah.
So he still has some. He's on the young side as well. So that's 4 years of Justin Madubuike staying with Baltimore, which honestly is well deserved.
So at the time this came out, he was second, but now he's third because of the Chris Jones contract. So he is third at $24.5 million. So there is a drop-off between the top two and him, but that's how it's going to go. I'm sure when DeForest Buckner's a free agent next year, he might get similar money depending on how he performs next year. But yeah, so Baltimore figured out their tag positions. They don't need to worry about that anymore. Let's talk about some trades that happened before we get into the overall free agency side of things. Let's talk about Jerry Jeudy, who was linked, who was amongst many receivers that were in trade talks in the trade deadline last 2 years even. Apparently, the Colts give a better offer than this, and they rejected it previously in the past, which, as a Colts fan, maybe thank you for that. But Jerry Jeudy, who was one of the best route runners in the NFL, one of the probably in his class.
Well, coming into the NFL, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying he's still a pretty good route runner. He's still one of the best route runners.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy's a guy who never lived up to what he was supposed to be at all. He was nowhere close to what he was in college. Steve Smith Jr., I think, or senior, called him out in one of the broadcasts as well. And honestly, I'm not even surprised that he's traded. And yeah, it's just like, it's a good move on the Browns' sake because they didn't give up anything and didn't need to give up anything. It's not worth giving up
2024
anything.
5th round pick and 6th round pick.
Yeah, it's close to nothing for Jeudy basically. And then, yeah, if he picks it up, dub for the Browns. If he doesn't, it's no real cost for the Browns either.
It's a cap clearing move. He joins Amari Cooper. They're a three-headed I want to say monster, but three-headed wide receiver are all crazy route runners, right? Yes, you could say Jerry.
Who's the third again?
I think it was Elijah Moore, but I'm not sure. But like,
yeah, so obviously
route runner wise, I'm not saying they're living up to
so Amari Cooper is obviously the stud.
Yeah.
Jeudy, if he figures it out, he will be there.
Yeah.
They're number 2, and Moore obviously is gonna be a 3 at best at this rate. Even though Elijah Moore was.
I don't know if he's still there. I'm gonna just stick to the 2 right now.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously, this was meant to be a cap clearing move by Denver, which they needed to. They still might trade away Cortland Sutton. We already saw what happened with a dead cap. They're gonna intake with Russell Wilson wherever he decides to sign later on. But they're already taking in $80 million plus there. But yeah, excited to see this Cleveland team after what happened last year. Deshaun Watson's gonna come back healthy. Let's see how he's gonna perform again, as well. But yeah, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, you got some elite route running. That's for sure. Jerry Jeudy in his 57 career games had only 11 touchdowns, 211 receptions for 3,053 yards total.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, let's move on to the next deal, which was Mac Jones going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Patriots getting off the Mac Jones train. Obviously, because Patriots are looking for a quarterback with their
this pretty much confirms
with their number 3 overall pick.
Yeah.
Right, and they also re-signed Nathan Rourke, so they're gonna have Zappe, Rourke, and whoever they draft as their 3 quarterbacks going into the season. Mac Jones, yes, good rookie year, bad second year, even worse third year. I'm not surprised by this at all. He's gonna have to. The only way Mac Jones is gonna pick it up is have to play some good backup roles for the next couple of years, and we could see him as a starter again in 2 or 3 years for like a rebuilding team or a team starting a rebuild. But at best, right now, it makes sense for me, and I just don't see Mac Jones as a starter next year.
Yeah. Patriots obviously control this, so I'm not going to talk about the Patriots side of things. Obviously, we were talking about off camera about this. 2 sides. One, let's talk about Jacksonville. Little surprised they're giving up a 6th round pick for him as a backup. Well, and the reason why I'm saying that is because they could have just went the veteran route because they already have Trevor Lawrence, right? So if they needed, they already had CJ Beathard, I think it was. Whoever.
Maybe they wanted someone better.
Okay, then there's other people available in free agency, in my opinion, to get.
If you look at this, right, like obviously Gardner Minshew is going to be one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Brissett could do a job. I think Mac Jones is a solid backup, right? If you bring in Mac Jones for a game or 2, because at the end of the day, we know Lawrence will get hurt because of what happened last year. Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we know that this guy plays hurt or is going to be out for a game. And we've seen that last year. Trevor Lawrence wasn't the same, right? He forced himself to play injured. And you know why? There was no reliable backup. I think Mac Jones is more reliable than CJ Beathard. So they made this move, right? Obviously, the year that Gardner Minshew had, I would rather have Gardner Minshew. But I do think that Mac Jones could come in, step in for a game or 2 and do a good job.
This is a good situation for him, but I wish, like I said, last year we were having this discussion during the season, and I was like, I still think he's a serviceable guy with the right coach or offensive coach with him. And that was Josh McDaniels with him in New England before he ended up in Las Vegas. And then, no surprise to me, he did not play well after that. So I was hoping he would go to a team, at least have a proper quarterback, proper quarterback competition. Maybe to a team that has enough good offensive mind good offensive weapons.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I would have preferred him.
Here's the difference, right? Justin Fields was in a similar situation, right? Obviously, Mac Jones is probably a little bit worse because you have Matt Patricia as your OC, but as one of the years, Justin Fields was in a similar situation. Justin Fields showed life. Mac Jones showed in the last 2 years that he was dead in the water. That's the difference.
Yeah, but again,
that's the difference between the Fields getting this, starting opportunity and Mac Jones isn't.
I don't fully, again, like I said, I don't fully blame Mac.
Yeah, no, but you don't fully blame Justin Fields.
I know, no. I'm not going to talk about Justin Fields here.
But that's the comparison I'm bringing up.
But I'm saying Mac Jones in general because I just felt like after Josh McDaniels, he was not given the right, mindset.
A lot of people weren't, though.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to show some life. As simple as that. Like, no, all the analysts I've heard as well, heard, there was no life in Mac Jones. They were like, they got to get rid of him. And if you're going to get rid of, you're not going to get a starting quarterback easy. You're going to be a backup quarterback. Right? There's a difference between him and Fields. There's a difference between Fields and Zach Wilson as well. They did not show any life. Like, Zach Wilson was thrown in a shitty situation. He didn't show any life other than probably one Chiefs game where they lost.
The difference between the both of them was Zach Wilson never had a great thing from day one, right? Mac Jones at least shown that with a good offensive coach on him, on his staff, so he could do something.
That's what I'm saying, that he's going to spend a year or two as a backup, and I'm going to be no surprise that in 3 years, in 2 years even, he could be a starting quarterback in the NFL again. I won't be surprised about that, but for next year, he has to be a backup.
The question is if he's going to get that opportunity.
That's he'll present himself. He's going to be a free agent anyways, right? As well in the coming years. I think he's going to his 4th year, right? Because he's in the Lawrence draft class.
Yeah.
So
they're nearly in the same.
Yeah, so I doubt they're going to take his 5th-year option as well.
Yeah, so they're competing. He's competing with CJ.
So he's going to be a free agent, then he has his free reign, spend a good year as a backup, choose where you want to go. There's going to be teams that are going to have quarterback questions, aka
it happens every year.
It happens every year. There's going to be those 5 teams that need a quarterback, either a bridge quarterback. He could be that perfect bridge quarterback. And do what Baker did, he gets paid. Speaking of Baker, he got paid.
Yeah.
$33 million per year, 3-year, $100 million contract for Baker Mayfield.
$50 million guaranteed.
It's $115 million. I'm sorry, 3 years, $150 million.
That's $115 with incentives.
With incentives.
So it is, the contract itself is $100 million.
Yeah.
Guaranteed of that money will be $50 million, but the maximum value with incentives will be $115 million over the 3 years.
Yeah, I mean Baker, well deserved. Incredible year.
Yeah,
just came out of nowhere. He's shown life.
Yeah,
what Mac Jones didn't show. Baker also had a couple good years in Cleveland as well. His last year in Cleveland, I don't fully blame him just because he was injured, and he did start off pretty well. I remember those first couple games remember that Chargers-Browns game that was one of the games of the year. They were just going back and forth, a couple years ago.
Sorry, say that again?
Browns versus Chargers, Baker versus Herbert.
Yeah.
And then in the beginning of the year, Baker versus Mahomes, and obviously when they went toe-to-toe and Mahomes got the game-winning drive, Baker threw a game-stealing interception.
Yeah.
Baker was good in the beginning of that year, then obviously injuries, then the Deshaun Watson trade.
And stunk in general.
Stunk in Carolina. Found his way in Tampa, and a incredible year. Baker proved me wrong. I'll just say that much. He really proved me wrong.
I guess the difference between Baker and Mac here is Baker had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, right? So it helps. I'm not saying Baker played well. I'm not taking anything. He deserves what he got. Do I think it's an overpay? Yes. I still think it's a massive overpay.
But I feel like
quarterbacks are overpaid in general.
It's just the market now, right?
That's the market. So that's why I'm not upset at it. I'm saying he proved that he could play in the NFL. He got the contract he earned. He took that team, won a playoff round against a Super Bowl contender against the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Not just taking anything away from that. Obviously, quarterbacks happen to be overpaid. For 3 years that much, are you gonna again? Baker has been inconsistent.
Yeah,
he hasn't put 2 years in a row.
That's true.
Has been great.
That is true.
And now you're relying on that after you also paid $26 million per year for 2 years to Mike Evans, who deserves it 100%. So the question is, you're lucky you're in a weaker conference. I have no faith. I don't have much faith in the Saints because of their coach, right? You don't know what's going to happen with the Panthers next year, and you don't know what's going to happen with Atlanta next year. I think, honestly, depending on what they do in free agency, how they address their quarterback situation, which we'll talk about in a second, my best bet right now could be Atlanta overall could be the best team. But right now, I'm not going to disrespect Tampa Bay. They are the best team. They proved it last year. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it's an overpay. But at the end of the day, again, quarterbacks always get overpaid because of the position.
Like, who would have thought?
It's one of the hardest positions.
Who would have thought Daniel Jones getting $40 million?
Yeah, exactly.
Who would have thought Geno Smith is getting $32 million per year?
Yeah.
Right? Like, at best, like, I thought $25 million for Geno last year. I thought, like, around $20 million for Daniel Jones. I got, like, freaking thrown out of the loop when I saw those contracts.
Geno's, I think, contract was slightly set up differently. I was surprised Geno got that much. Again, because Geno literally came off one great year, right?
Yeah.
Resurgent career. Baker, at least out of the three, I have more faith in. Yeah, Daniel Jones, I don't know what they're thinking. They're thinking of taking quarterback at 6 if anyone falls to them, at least.
That was
might
terrible.
Trade up, right?
That was terrible.
I still do not understand that trade at all. That signing at all. Because that was more Saquon than Daniel Jones. At least with Geno, he balled, right? Like, he deserved his comeback player of the year. With Baker, again, it's an overpay, but he deserved what he got. It's still under. The surprising thing is, the only good thing I'll say about this contract, it's under Daniel Jones. That's for
the only
sure.
positive you could take away, yeah.
Yeah, like that's one of the biggest positives you could take away from here.
Yeah, $33 million. Yeah, was I expecting that? I was probably expecting 25. But then again, everything's inflated in the quarterback market as well. But let's move on to, I think those are the news, right? Let's move on to some.
No, there's a big signing that also happened.
Okay, yeah, Kevin Byard.
Kevin
Byard is going to the Chicago Bears.
2 years, $15 million contract, 7.5 AAV. Surprising a little bit, yes. But then I forgot that he got bought out. Obviously, he did not play well last year, especially with the Eagles. But outside of that, I still think he's a top safety in the league. We'll see it with a defensive-sided coach.
It's going to be a real prove-it year for him because his last year and a half has not been good for Kevin Byard at all. For a guy who once was a bona fide top 5 safety in the league, a couple years ago with the Tennessee Titans, I think that's when they went to the 1 seed as well. Yeah, they were 1 seed as well, right? When the Bengals made the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Kevin Byard was a big part of that.
Yeah.
And their defense.
That's why he got paid.
But ever since then, he hasn't looked the same. Ever since he got paid, legit, he hasn't looked the same as that Kevin Byard. So, yeah, Bears are taking a chance, cheap contract. Not surprised about the amount at all. I think it's a perfect amount for Kevin Byard.
I think it'll be fine.
It's just a wait and see, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Can he bounce back? If he can't, then it's over for Kevin Byard.
Yeah, he is over 30 right now. So that's the other thing here. So, yeah, I think that's it for the signings that happened so far. We already said, I forgot who we said last time, but like guys like Jonnu Smith have already signed.
Yeah, just like mini signings like that. Just happened, but like the big stuff is gonna start happening on Monday and Tuesday.
Nothing official till Wednesday,
and then obviously nothing official till Wednesday when the league year starts for the NFL.
So let's get into some previews, maybe some predictions we make of the signings.
Yeah, so I have CBS's free agency tracker here. They have like listed their top 100 free agency. Obviously, we're not gonna go through all 100. We'll go through the big ones. So obviously, number 1 they have listed Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say let's hit the quarterback market first because that is the most important position. They have it everywhere I look because I said put it down that Justin Fields is going to be a Falcon. But the Falcons have different plans, it seems like, and they're going after Kirk Cousins. I don't know if they're going after both. That's question number 1. I don't know if they're going after both. Are they gonna draft a guy and then let Kirk Cousins be the mentor? Because of the injury side of things as well. Again, weak division, so I get it. They might want to go after with a veteran quarterback. I'm not sure what Kirk Cousins' health is going to be come training camp, beginning of the season, all that stuff, right? So everybody has him down for Atlanta. I'm surprised by that slightly because I think they should go after Justin Fields.
Yeah, I think when you're Atlanta, you have. So here's like a positive and negative, right? Like for my reason, I'm just say one thing. They probably want Kirk Cousins to lead that youth in the offense. But then here's the other thing. They probably want Justin Fields, who's younger, to match the timeline of the offense. So there's ifs and ands of both. I agree with you. I think they should have Justin Fields as their number 1 target, Kirk Cousins as their number 2 target. I do believe that. So, but I just see Justin Fields as a Falcon. I
do too.
I can't.
It fits.
Yeah.
Right? I think Kirk will fit, assuming he's healthy, fits better with the Raiders, or depending on what they do with the quarterback in the draft. I'm taking that to the side. The Raiders or the Broncos more so than the Falcons.
What are his chances of re-signing?
I don't think so. They're saying like heavily that
because they want to pick.
They're saying that he's gone.
Yeah,
that's why. That's the
they're also looking at picking a quarterback as well.
Yeah, so he's 35
for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm gonna predict Justin Fields.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna predict.
Where are you gonna predict Kirk Cousins?
So where am I gonna predict?
And is he gonna be a starter?
Predict Kirk Cousins. It's probably like who's available really on team wise.
Minnesota.
He's not going back to Minnesota. Pittsburgh have Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
I have that dead on.
And then the two from the AFC North or AFC West, sorry, Raiders and the Broncos.
I think he's a Raider.
I want to say he's a Raider, but every prediction is saying Falcons.
I'm guessing Raiders just because. Yeah, he's gonna be a better Jimmy Garoppolo. Devontae Adams will have a capable quarterback. Playing this year. No disrespect to Aiden O'Connell, who did an incredible job stepping in as a freaking 5th, 6th round guy. And I'm going with the Raiders. I agree with that.
So sticking with the quarterbacks here, because last year there were a lot of injuries, so we needed a lot of backups. Our squad had that capable backup of Gardner Minshew. Obviously, a lot of that had to do with Shane Steichen as well. But we've seen a lot of guys come up. We saw old man Joe Flacco off the couch and do what he did. So let's talk about this next guy, Ryan Tannehill. He is a free agent. I don't think he's going back because Will Levis is their guy now. I don't know how expensive he's going to be. Is he a starter next year to one of those teams we've mentioned, those bridge teams? Or is he going to get a backup position to maybe a young quarterback, which could be Carolina, still with Bryce Young, or so on and so forth. This could be Indy as well. But yeah, how do you look at not just Ryan Tannehill? Actually, just talk about Ryan Tannehill because he was a starter last year for a bit.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, I see him as both. I really do.
Same age as Kirk.
Like I could see like the Broncos just sign him just because they need a guy, right? And I could see the Raiders sign him just because they need a guy. I don't think Falcons are going to get him. I don't think Steelers are going to get him. So if I'm looking at those two spots, it's the Raiders and Broncos. But other than that, I think he's a backup everywhere else. So it's looking bleak for Ryan Tannehill to be a starter. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. So what do you predict though?
I don't know.
Is it just tough?
So if he's a starter, I'll probably predict Broncos. If he's a backup, it could just be any team.
You could just go to that team and be in a compete spot as well, right? Like a competition type thing, depending on who they go.
Where else is like?
I'm looking at the Giants for whatever reason as a back.
Well, depending on what the Giants do, yeah, as well.
Commanders.
Commanders are going quarterback. So
I know, but like that's I guess more of a backup. But
that's more of a backup role.
Detroit.
Or he's going to be a backup in the middle of the year, anyways.
Tampa already got their guy, and then I'm looking at the NFC West. They all have their guys.
Exactly. So it's going to be tough for him to be a starter.
Yeah. Where would you like to see him as a backup then?
As a backup?
Is he going to join Arthur Smith in Pittsburgh?
Could be a good spot.
That could be a starting spot too.
That could be a good spot.
If they don't go Russell Wilson for some reason. Because
if they're keeping Kenny Pickett, I would go after Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, because Arthur Smith.
Because of Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tannehill's best years was with Arthur Smith. So
yeah,
that's a good backup spot. If I'm Pittsburgh, I would go for it if you're not going
Russell Wilson.
If you're keeping Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, and you're getting outside of Russell Wilson. I think that's the best spot.
I mean, if you get Justin Fields, it's a different story as well.
Yeah.
So if you're keeping Kenny Pickett, sign Ryan Tannehill.
Okay. So there's this one name I want to bring up. Two names I'm going to bring up. They were both backups last year. We saw how it happened with Baker, right? He was a backup with the Rams. Then he won the starting position over, I think it was Kyle Trask or whoever it was at Tampa Bay, right? Sam Darnold. He has 1 year under the belt with one of the best offenses with Kyle Shanahan. When he did play, right?
He looked decent.
He looked fine. It was the Christian McCaffrey injury. I'm still a fan of Sam Darnold. I'm a believer of Sam Darnold. You know that.
Yeah.
I would love to see him get an opportunity in one of those.
Does he have a contract? Like
he's a free agent. Like I'm on the free agency list.
He's a free agent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a name that intrigues me, and I want to see. I want to see one of those teams that we said earlier, especially the two teams from the South. Sorry, the AFC West, take a chance on him.
Okay, so here's the thing with Sam Darnold. The year he was decent, or half a year he was decent, was because of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
When the moment he went down, Sam Darnold went down.
But he also didn't have the coaching, in my opinion.
Yeah, he didn't. But if you're going to the Broncos and Raiders, are you really going to have the coaching there too?
Sean Payton.
Huh? I mean, Sean Payton had a stink show last year. All right.
At the beginning. Then he kind of made a run.
He had a stink fest.
To the point where Nick Shook had to take back what he said in our podcast.
He had a 5-week run.
But he had a run, though.
He had a run. Okay, yeah. So, but Sam Darnold's not an answer.
Raiders also have Devontae Adams.
It's Sam Darnold's like, he's a bridge back. He'll be a bridge guy at the best. I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think he's doing what Baker is doing.
I'm saying like give him the Baker contract. Let him compete. If he wins the job, great. If there's a guy that's struggling, he could come in instantly. I would love to see him get an opportunity. I feel like that 1 year he sat behind Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, should help him.
Could help him, yes.
Because Baker did that with Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay for a year.
It's very bleak
for half a year.
Half a year. Baker had more of a case, right? Because Baker had good years. Darnold never had a good year. Baker did have a couple good years.
I get that.
So opportunity-wise, it's not looking good for Sam Darnold. Whereas for Baker Mayfield, you could see why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed him, because he's shown a capable starting quarterback play a couple times in his career. Sam Darnold has never shown that in his career.
Sam Darnold or Mac Jones?
I would rather have Mac Jones.
Okay. I would I want to.
I'm with you. I would love to see Sam Darnold have one more opportunity.
Like that.
But I'm being real.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's gonna go to a team in a suit. I'm not saying go to the Steelers.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. I just don't think he's gonna get an opportunity.
Oh, okay. As a starter. I could see him getting that opportunity though.
I could
see him going to the just a team to at least a QB competition going down. I could see that happening.
Yeah, but
that's what I think.
But it's gonna be hard to see that like he's gonna have that Baker year with what Baker did with Tampa.
Mitch Trubisky got an opportunity with the Steelers.
Yeah,
as a backup for Josh Allen. Why can't Sam Darnold do that?
He can, right?
That's what
it is. Yeah. But when does that rarely happens?
Mitch Trubisky got it from the Steelers.
Rare. One guy in for forever. You just mentioned name me 5 guys who did that.
Baker Mayfield, Mitch Trubisky,
who had good. Name me 5.
Marcus Mariota.
Okay, name me 5 guys who did that.
Okay, 2 for sure.
Baker's not on the list because Baker had good years. Okay. Mitch Trubisky never had good years.
Marcus Mariota.
Or like half a good year as well.
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. Mitch Trubisky.
Gardner Minshew.
Was he a starter? He was a starter in the beginning of his career.
Where did he go after Jacksonville?
Philly as a backup.
No, but didn't he go somewhere else before?
I don't think so. He definitely didn't start there.
Okay. So the 2 for sure. But if those guys got it, Sam Darnold deserves a chance, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I'm saying he should.
Yeah, it's very bleak.
All right, so here comes, again, with those teams in mind, Gardner Minshew
is the best quarterback available after Kirk Cousins.
Pro Bowler.
I'm putting him ahead of Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Right, just because of the years he had compared to Russell Wilson, it was better. This doesn't mean that Gardner Minshew was like a god.
Yeah.
He was not. We've seen terrible games for Gardner Minshew, aka the Jacksonville game and probably the Cincinnati one, I would say. And obviously he didn't make the throw against Houston as well. Gardner Minshew
was a Pro Bowler.
After Kirk Cousins, I think Gardner Minshew was the best bet to be a starter.
Not Tannehill?
With Tannehill, yeah. I'll put them in the same tier, same level.
Because
and then obviously Russell Wilson as well. Those 3 in the same level.
Did he price himself out of Indy? That's the question as well.
But here's the thing, bro. Like, I feel like the opportunities, like, there's not many teams that need a quarterback this year compared to years past as well, right?
Yeah, but
like last year, a lot of teams needed it, right? That's why Baker got the opportunity. Sam Darnold there's not many teams. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to get it because Gardner Minshew's ahead of him. Russell Wilson's going to be ahead of him. Kirk Cousins is ahead of him, right? There's 3 quarterbacks already ahead of him on the list that teams will rather prefer to Sam Darnold already.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have a Justin Fields trade incoming as well. Caleb Williams is going to the Bears. You have a Drake May probably going to Washington, and you have a Jaden Daniels probably going to the Patriots, right? And then JJ McCarthy looming as well.
JJ McCarthy is obviously more of a project, so that's a different story. But okay, so then you're saying, but like
I'm just saying the opportunities are there's not many teams are looking for it.
Exactly.
Like look how many I can't think of anyone other than Broncos, Raiders,
Vikings.
Obviously, Broncos, Raiders,
Vikings.
No. Broncos, Raiders, and Giants who have no clear picture of what they're gonna do.
Right? Like, shout.
I don't know. Like, are they? And obviously, I'll probably throw in the Vikings that one too. Like Falcons, at the end of the day, they know who they're trying to get, or like they kind of have their mind made up to who they want to get. It's between Kirk and Justin Fields. Steelers, same thing. They already visited with Russell Wilson, or they're gonna keep Kenny Pickett.
But they might get a capable guy like Justin or Gardner Minshew, for example,
as a backup. For just safety person.
Yeah. But I think
So like, there's a maximum of 5 teams, right?
I think Daniel Jones is a lock to start. There's no way you can pay the guy $40 million.
No, he's not.
I think he's a lock to start. That's just me. There's no way
that reduces more.
It does. It reduces. But
so that's 4 teams.
I agree with you. It should not. But I just think you pay a guy $40 million. There's no way the GM's not gonna tell the coach he ain't starting next year. Think about it, right? Like, there's no way.
I would risk
the owner himself is gonna be like, I'm paying this guy $40 million. He's starting.
Yeah, who knows?
Because
it might be. It might be that.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, it's a coach's decision.
Okay, so then going back to it, Gardner Minshew. Do you think he deserves a starting opportunity? I think he out of everybody on this list, minus Kirk Cousins because that's a different situation, probably deserves a starting QB competition opportunity.
The most, yeah.
The most.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Right next with Tannehill, probably.
Yeah. I mean, and Russell Wilson. They're all 3 just in the same level. They're all in the same level.
Okay, so do you see him seeing a starter next year or go to a team that has a starting opportunity, or do you think he'll come back to like Indy?
I think he is either coming back or I think it's just a backup, bro. Or a quarter. Like, I don't think he's a week 1 starter. There's just no opportunity. There's a lot of like solid quarterbacks already in place. Plus, with a draft class that has a strong quarterback class as well, it just doesn't help. We're seeing less and less teams
for him. It might be beneficial to come back to Indy because we haven't seen a full season of Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I think Indy's the best bet,
and that's where he will make his money. If he gets a job elsewhere, it's because of Indy, right? Because of Steichen.
I think Indy's the best bet. I also feel like Indy will pay the most as a backup for a backup position.
Okay, so let's wrap it up with these couple of backup names. They're backup guys. The rumor number 1 is Jacoby Brissett is going back to New England. That's the biggest rumor right now because they just want a guy who's a professional, right, to mentor.
Oh, yeah, that's simple. He's a backup. Patriots. Makes sense.
Okay, so I'm going to Quickfire. They're getting a job next year.
Quickfire, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say name the names. Just tell me if they're going to have a job next year.
Yeah, go.
Tyrod Taylor.
As a backup.
So you're saying he's 164?
Backup,
okay.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota getting a job next year.
Nope. He was terrible.
Sam Darnold getting a job next year.
Yes, backup for
Drew Lock getting a job next year.
Yeah, he had a good couple games for Seattle.
Tyler Huntley.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Joe Flacco.
100%. 100%.
If he wants it.
He might be even a starter.
Carson Wentz.
It's gonna be a circle. We don't know because he was out. He was Stafford's backup coming in like near the end of the year, so we don't know.
And the last guy I'll name on here outside of the other ones is Josh Dobbs.
I feel like Josh Dobbs has done enough
to get a job,
to get a backup job. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the quarterback list. What's the next player of the position do you have?
Obviously, Chris Jones is signed. Josh Allen was franchise tag. The next legit guy who's a free agent is Danielle Hunter.
So let's go with the pass rushers then.
The pass rushers, yeah. We'll just go defense in general as well.
Okay, let's go defense.
No, pass rushers because there's a lot of safeties. Danielle Hunter, Minnesota Vikings. Prediction, I want to see him go to the Bears because I want to see I want to see the Bears go after him because I want to see them lock up their, edge for the next couple of years, right? Their pass rushers. Like Sweat was the leading sacks for the Bears and the Commanders. Like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Sweat's proven that he's a stud. Danielle Hunter proven this year one of the league leaders in sacks. The only issue is I don't know if he's gonna fit the timeline because he is 29. But at the same
Sometimes
time,
you need a vet.
At the same time, I just feel like just go after him just because your D line will be so much better.
Again, that division is up in the grabs. It's gonna be more tough than
honestly, like
year.
if you're getting Caleb Williams, right? Obviously, your weapons are there, and DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, I think, is a decent tight end. DJ Moore was a top 10 wide receiving yards guy this year. Darnell Mooney as a second option, he
might be gone. There's reports that he's gonna be gone.
So like, there's a lot of like draft options as well too as a second guy.
Yeah.
You have 2 first-round picks. O-line is your biggest issue. Get your O-line figured out and get your defense figured out. Daniil Hunter is going to help you get your defense figured out. You already signed Kevin Byard. You already got Jalen Johnson back. Your safety secondary is already looking a little bit, is already shaping up. I think the Bears should go after Daniil Hunter.
At the end of the day, every team needs depth at that position. Because you usually have 2 or 3 on.
Yeah.
You have 4 to 5 guys on at the same time between D tackle, D end, and outside linebacker.
The difference is who needs a star power, though.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like the Bears could use that star power if they really want to take that jump. Because at the end of the day, I think Bears could be a sneaky jump team. Texans, I don't know if the Texans could go after them.
They're okay. So if you're talking about cap space, they have the 5th most.
Obviously, they have enough cap space, but I don't know if that's their number 1 priority. That's what I'm trying to say, because you have Will Anderson already, right?
Again,
another team.
You need a partner.
Yeah, but I think
Will Anderson's on a rookie contract.
Yeah, no, but they're also probably gonna re-sign like a Jonathan Grenard, who's been really good for them as well.
Which is fine.
I think another thing I saw for Hunter was the LA Rams as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good spot. But Daniil Hunter should be signed by someone.
So other guys that are available in that position: Leonard Williams, Emmanuel Ogba, Daniil Hunter, you already mentioned, Carl Lawson.
So it's a big fall off.
Yeah, Randy Gregory. No, this might be through last year's contract.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the reason why. Zadarius Smith, Yannick Ngakoue, Grover Stewart.
Well, that's Grover Stewart, a D tackle.
But I'm putting them all.
Yeah. So then if you're that, then you're missing another one here as well, and Christian Wilkins.
Oh yeah, Christian Wilkins, Chase Young. Yeah, those are the ones I see here.
There's good options. Daniil Hunter, I believe, is definitely the best, but he is the oldest as well. Christian Wilkins is a stud D tackle as well.
Yeah.
Grover Stewart, one of the best run stoppers in the game.
I think he's going to be back in Indy.
He's got to be back in Indy. Bengals will love to use Grover Stewart, right? Because their run defense wasn't great at all.
Yeah.
And also, I think DJ Reader got a torn Achilles, right? Near the end of the year.
Maybe. I don't fully remember.
Yeah, they're D tackle, right? So he'll be a good partner with him when he comes back. But yeah, I think Rams or Bears for Daniil Hunter. Chase Young, what do you think about Chase Young? I don't think the Niners. Do you think the Niners will be able to re-sign Chase Young?
No. They can, depending on what he wants. I would love to see Chase Young. Actually, no, they lost Mike McDonald. I was gonna be like, Baltimore, right? Like Chase Young needs to go to a team.
I think he's gonna have a prove-it deal.
Yeah,
he's not gonna get a big deal.
Because of they have his effort in question, right? Like, I wanted to see him. I could see him in Pittsburgh. Right? Because
I could see that.
But just if you want, I would like to see him there because you're gonna have a no-nonsense coach in Mike Tomlin there. Pittsburgh is like a good spot. Pittsburgh usually takes chances on guys from what I've seen in the past as well. And you're going to have TJ Watt on the other side.
The only reason I don't see Pittsburgh is they already have Highsmith and Watt.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Right. It's definitely going to be like a prove-it-year deal. So it could be a lot of teams could be available for him.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ravens do make sense. Maybe they want to replace Jadeveon Clowney with him, who's also a free agent, who himself. Another place I could see is... Yeah, I think those are real. I think he's gonna go. He's going to a good team. That's all I'm gonna know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this position needs depth everywhere you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously there's certain players that you see potential, and Chase Young was he was supposed to be the best player in that draft, right? Before Joe Burrow emerged. That was the same draft class, right? Or was it Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, same one.
One of them. Yeah.
It was a Joe Burrow one.
Yeah. So until Joe Burrow went berserk. He was the best player. Even when Joe Burrow did go berserk, consistency-wise, he was supposed to be the best player coming into the draft. Like how this year is supposed to be Marvin Harrison Jr., but we know it's Caleb Williams, right? So same vibe there. But yeah, to finish off the D-line in general, do you see these vets signed? Starting off with the oldest of them all, Calais Campbell.
Yeah, I think he re-signs with Atlanta. I think he had a decent year in Atlanta, so I think Atlanta would want him back.
By the way, Javon Kinlaw's a free agent too.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Denico Autry.
33
right now.
He's going to have a depth spot somewhere. He'll have somewhere.
Dante Fowler.
Yeah, I don't know. It's be tough now. It'll be tough.
Again, these guys will get signed. Jadeveon Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney is getting signed. Chase Young is getting signed. Christian Wilkins is definitely getting signed. Grover Stewart's definitely getting signed.
We also got to remember there's 52-man roster, so there's practice squads involved.
Yeah, no, there's those are the ones I would say comfortably. Leonard Williams, I would say comfortably will get signed somewhere as well. And then there's a good D-line talent here as well.
Okay, let's talk about the safeties before we end it off on the running backs. Safeties and secondary in general.
Yeah, secondary, you got
the best of them all.
The best person available is Justin Simmons.
Yeah. And he's predicted to go to the Eagles.
Yeah, if they're looking for a guy to replace CJ Gardner-Johnson, essentially.
Well, CJ Gardner-Johnson was in Detroit too. But
yeah, no, but they couldn't find a guy to replace CJ Gardner-Johnson. Right? Kevin Byard failed. Justin Simmons is the best bet. And honestly, it could be an upgrade as well.
Yeah, bigger upgrade for sure.
Yeah, so Eagles make sense. Obviously, every team should go after Justin Simmons. That is for sure.
Buda Baker.
He's a free agent?
Yep.
I did not know he was a free agent. He didn't have a great year.
No, he didn't.
He did not have a great year.
He's still 28. He's younger than Justin Simmons, which I didn't realize.
Yeah.
He was looking for a contract, remember?
He's probably gonna have something like a Byard level deal, potentially.
Difference between the two of them is Byard was bought out, so he still had his money.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I could see him, maybe what Tyrann Mathieu signed originally with the Saints. Not the re-sign, like the original contract he got with the Saints.
Yeah, it might be like a short, He's gonna have to have a
because there's options here. Like, I'm gonna list through some names.
Bro, just list through the names. Honestly, we can't even predict them because there's so many.
Okay,
it's gonna take
I'm gonna throw some
time.
stinkers out there first. Jamal Adams, J.C. Jackson. They're all gonna get jobs.
Yeah.
Buda Baker, Justin Simmons, Eddie Jackson, Adoree Jackson, Quandre Diggs, Kendall Fuller, Darius Williams, Stephon Gilmore, Micah Hyde, Rayshawn Jenkins, Jeffrey Okudah, Michael Davis, Kenny Moore, Patrick Peterson, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Jordan Whitehead, Jordan Poyer, CJ Henderson, and I'll say other names as soon as I see them. But it's an elite market for the secondary this year.
And honestly, like
specifically safety.
Yeah. And then obviously we already mentioned Simmons. Xavier McKinney is another one as well, who's a Giants free agent.
Yeah.
So it's really stacked. And if you're anyone, I'm just saying this: if you're any team in the NFL that has secondary needs,
this is the year.
There's no excuses for you.
Julian Blackmon on the list.
Yeah, there's no excuses for you to not have an upgrade available or at least fix that position.
Even if it's a project.
I'm looking at the Colts. I'm looking at the Lions as the top two from each conference who has big secondary needs or secondary issues. There's no excuse for you. No, I mean the Chiefs.
We don't know what's happening with Snead.
We don't know what's happening with Snead, so yeah, obviously them too as well. But the biggest ones are Colts and Lions. Yeah. There's no debate about that.
Yeah.
There's no debate about that. So there's no excuse for those two teams, especially, to have secondary issues after this offseason.
How surprised are you that this is like the defense version of the running back? And why is that so in your opinion?
I don't know, honestly. Like, safeties are very... I just feel
versatile
like...
position.
It's been very, like, up and down in the sense of, like, there hasn't been a top guy as a safety for, like, 5 to 7 years straight. It's always changing who the top guy is.
Yeah, for a while, it was a little bit of Jamal Adams. You
had Jamal Adams in the conversation. You had Minka in the conversation. You had Derwin in the conversation. Now it's probably between...
Matthew and Buda were there, too, for a little bit.
Yeah, then now it's probably between Hamilton or Winfield.
Bates.
After this year. Bates as well.
Simmons.
And then it's always changing. Whereas D-line, Aaron Donald, no question mark. Quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, no question mark. Running back is also the same thing. McCaffrey's injuries, obviously.
It's McCaffrey.
It's McCaffrey.
It's because of the injuries.
But yeah, because of the injuries, Derrick Henry was up there one year. Jonathan Taylor was up here another year.
Wide receiver also, it's between 2-3
Wide receiver, it's Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams.
Now maybe Jamar Chase.
But like it was been Jefferson, Adams in the last couple of years as well.
And the tight end was Travis Kelce, if not George Kittle.
That's probably the main reason. That's the only thing I could think of.
But again, it's just strange because they're versatile. You saw Kyle Hamilton matched up against Travis Kelce in their playoff game. You see a guy like Jamal Adams, when he was good, be labeled as a pass rusher because he's a blitz guy, right? You have guys like Minka who's good in coverage as well, right? Getting interceptions and all that.
Yeah, so it's not like there's no debate that these. It's not there's a lot.
The top guys right now are locked up, but I am concerned about Kyle Hamilton. Then, if that's the case, coming up.
Here's the thing, right? They're easily replaceable.
Yeah,
they are. They are the running backs because they're easily replaceable. Like, who would have thought, Kyle Hamilton would take this big of a jump?
Yeah.
Right? Like, we were saying he would be good. He was a first-round pick for a reason. Falling to the Ravens was very scary as well. But the jump he took...
Probably that's why he fell.
It's been incredible, yeah. That's why, like, in the last couple of drafts, right? Like, I don't think any safeties went in the first round. Or, like, they went late in the first round.
Mid to
if
late.
anything. Like, Kyle Hamilton's the earliest safety I could think of. That I think went around 14.
Yeah, because here's the thing. At cornerbacks,
like,
you need a guy to defend one-on-one.
I think a couple of years ago, or 2 to 3 years ago, Trayvon Morag was the best safety in the class. He went in the second round. Last year, Brian Branch was listed as the best safety in the class. He went in the second, he went in the second round. And I think he's converted to cornerback now as well.
So that's the thing, right? Even cornerback, people were surprised Witherspoon went that early. Look at Jeffrey Okudah, who went third overall, didn't pan out. CJ Henderson went pretty high up. He didn't pan out. So it's secondary in general. There's a lot of replacements. Cornerbacks, obviously, you need a lockdown guy no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's why it's more important. Whereas safeties, you could design different, depending on your scheme, your defensive schemes, you could do different things, right?
Like, obviously, yeah, depending on, like, but when you're looking at most of the times, a safety is just, a backup to a cornerback essentially, right? It's like in the sense of like the cornerback's going one-on-one with the guy. The safety is just going to, cover the zone, whichever guy's going to be, or just looking at the quarterback side. He's not really covering everyone, half the time.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas you're going to have that ability that Kyle Hamilton has, where you have to guard a Travis Kelce. All right? Where Derwin James had to guard Travis Kelce. That's your best bet at becoming a top safety in this league. Okay,
so where do you see some of these top guys go and that will get jobs immediately?
Oh, Justin Simmons, Xavier McKinney. I don't see a lot of them. Especially, I think Buda Baker will get one too as well. I think Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde should get it as well.
Tre'Davious White.
Julian Blackman will get it as well. Here's the thing with the Bills trio. They're all injury prone, so that's going to be their only question mark. Who else am I missing? Like, there's obviously a bunch. Quandre Diggs is coming off a bad year. Jamal Adams is coming off a pretty bad year as well. And injuries as well.
Stephon Gilmore should get a job.
Gilmore's getting a job for sure. He's getting a job. But yeah, no.
Some of the young guys, Jeffrey Okudah, I think he had a good bounce back in Atlanta.
He did well. And then
that's it.
Yeah, he did well. That's all I have.
Okay. Before we go to running back, is there any other positions you want to touch up on?
I mean, no, like old linemen are decent. Like you have Mike Onwenu, who's been up there. Then you have, I think, Jonah Williams for the Bengals. Linebacker Patrick Queen's a free agent.
Yeah, I see him linked to Seahawks.
Yeah, then I think Jordan Buck's a free agent for their linebacker as well. So might see a swap right there between the two. They just fill each other's position. Let me check the
linebacker in general.
Wide receiver, the best one available that is non-franchise tag is Calvin Ridley. Another one.
We should talk about wide receivers.
Another one is Marquise Brown. Obviously, we're gonna have to see what happens with the these tags players like Pittman and Higgins, right? Probably headlining the class if you're including everyone. But yeah, wide receiver wise, Calvin Ridley, I think he
should get a job.
He will get a job. I don't know if he gets re-signed, but the Kansas City Chiefs could be heavy on him because he could get a 1-year contract, prove it year, and that's where the Chiefs could pounce on this.
Odell Beckham Jr.
I think he should re-sign.
Everything worked well for him.
Yeah, it really. Yeah, was he the best? No, he wasn't. But I just feel like it just clicked. It still clicked.
Tyler Boyd. Is that a Chiefs look at?
No, that might be another Chiefs look at.
If he wants a wide receiver quote unquote one opportunity.
Yeah, but
because of Travis Kelce.
Other than that, he's probably a two at best at the end of the day. Because you already know Chase is getting the money for the wide receiver budget in the Bengals, and obviously whatever's left, will probably go to Higgins. Yeah, but it depends. It depends on what they do with Higgins. If they can't bring back Higgins, they're definitely gonna bring back Boyd.
There's not that many names here. Like you said, you mentioned the two biggest ones already, right? Hollywood Brown and
like the rest.
Ridley.
Like they're just decent guys, right? The big guys are a franchise tag, right? Wide receivers get the franchise tag.
Now they do, yeah. So like Allen Robinson, once upon a time was the guy.
Yeah, he's
Curtis Samuel, MV, DJ Chark, right? McCole Hardman probably should resign. Do you see about McCole Hardman? They're saying that
or like he scammed the Jets or something.
Yeah, like he gave away the plays or
Playbook
whatever.
and stuff. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, so it's not an intriguing class. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, no, wide receiver wise, yeah, not really.
So let's end it off.
But like they're good guys to have as your number 2 and number 3 though.
Or just depth options in general.
Yeah.
Let's see where the Canadian.
Mackay Becton's also a free agent as well.
Yeah.
He didn't really pan out for the Jets.
So here we go. Let's end it off on this. The running back position. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, Austin Eckler, all in order on this list as well. You have DeAndre Swift available. You have Ezekiel Elliott available. You have Gus Edwards on this list. You got Devin Singletary on this list.
So there's a lot of wide running backs.
So let's go with Kareem Hunt, AJ Dillon.
Yeah, some decent guys, obviously.
So let's start off with who's the best available for you?
Saquon Barkley.
Okay, so you have him ahead of Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Because of age factor as well.
Where will Saquon Barkley end up? And where do you think which teams should be calling for him?
Texans should be calling from. I've heard rumors about Cowboys and Eagles calling from.
Chargers, I've heard,
and I've also heard the Bears. I think the best fit for Saquon
as a wide receiver, let's put him as running back 1, not depth options in general.
Like he will be running back 1. Yeah. I would go with either the Bears or the Texans. That I just predict.
If Eckler's gone, right? And the way they have Greg Roman as their offensive guy right now.
Yeah.
I'm going with them.
That's like you're predicting, right?
I'm going with the Chargers.
Like we're not saying what's the best fit. We're saying like, where he's going to end up.
Well, fit-wise too.
Yeah, I know. Fit. Obviously, the teams that are calling him are the teams that are going to fit.
And a part of me is,
right?
like, obviously I'm not saying Texans because I'm biased. I think Texans should call him for sure, right?
Yeah.
That would be lethal between the two of them, CJ and him.
Yeah,
but it's also lethal with Justin Herbert and him.
I'm also going with the Bears.
Why the Bears?
Just cause. Why not? Those teams have been rumored around them, right? Like these are the teams that fit well. Bears don't really have a running back, right? Khalil Herbert compared to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
There's levels difference. As long as he stays healthy. Who's next? Derrick Henry. I already have this one locked in. Baltimore Ravens.
Why?
To me it just seems perfect. Like you have your J.K. Dobbins has always been injured, right? Gus Edwards, I think will. If you get Derrick Henry, I don't think Gus Edwards will be back. Derrick Henry will be your power back, whereas Lamar Jackson will be your agile guy, right? So you're gonna have a mixed combination of both. Derrick Henry will obviously you're gonna have him on goal line downs anyways, just freaking run through. Like every time you need a short yardage, Derrick Henry's gonna get that 4th and 1.
So with that logic, I propose you the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
because they have DeAndre Swift as a free agent right now.
Yeah, the same thing.
Because the Cowboys are looking for a running back. Because Tony Pollard's on that list.
Yeah, I'm just heavy on Baltimore Ravens. That's my prediction.
The Giants might be looking for a running back now.
Yeah, they obviously are. But yeah, my prediction is the Ravens. What's yours?
I'll go Eagles.
All right.
Next up, let's go with Josh Jacobs.
This one I'm gonna pick the Texans.
Okay.
Right. I'm not gonna say re-sign just because that's always an option. Out of all the ones I could see him re-signing.
This is the one, yeah.
Yeah, but just to pick another team for the sake, I'll predict the Texans.
How confused are you that he says he wants to sign a 1-year deal if it's not a big contract?
So you want to get paid what term?
Yeah, but then he's not gonna get that. He's like, I'm taking the 1-year deal, which I don't get.
It doesn't make sense on both sides either, right? Like I don't see him getting locked up for like if he doesn't want. I think he's just basically trying to say like I'll take the 1-year deal, prove what I'm worth, again, then see what happens there to get that fat contract. But yeah,
Austin Eckler.
That one. I feel like the Eagles are gonna land him just because I feel like the Eagles are gonna miss out on these guys, like Barkley, Henry. So that's why I'm gonna pick Eckler to the Eagles.
Give me Dallas for this one, because again, I don't think they're re-signing Pollard. So, which goes on to now.
Pollard, that's obviously another one I was going to think.
I think Pollard's going to be a depth guy. I think he's going to be like Cole running back 1.
I think.
Like how he was with Zeke.
Yeah, I think Pollard was, with Jacobs, was one of my re-sign targets. I'll probably say re-sign. If I were to pick a team, I'll probably go with like a.
I'm going Ravens.
I'll probably go with the Chargers.
Or even Browns. I don't know what the hell's happening with what's his name?
Chubb will be back.
At the moment.
Chubb's gonna be back.
So then, yeah, him and Chubb put them together.
Yeah.
A lot of this is just going off of the gut. No, there's no analysis.
Honestly, like as running back, right? Like we're just looking at teams that need it.
Yeah. Okay, so that will conclude the free agency preview right now. The next time we talk about it, it will be whatever teams have signed, and then we'll do a little bit more research to see who is left unsigned. Football is a weird one. It's kind of like not as bad as baseball, where there will be players that won't sign for a while.
There will be, yeah.
Like Jadeveon Clowney was one of them. Stephon Gilmore took a bit when
but
he signed
the good one, like the big players, the top 10, top 25 players will be signed.
Usually are. Stephon Gilmore was like the only one
in the first week, yeah.
That took a while when he signed the Colts.
The reason is because they're old. Like talk about good young players. They will be signed.
Teams with the most cap space, if you guys are wondering. Washington, number 1. Number 2 is Tennessee. New England's number 3. Chicago's number 4. And Houston rounds up 5. Cincy's at 6. Now, obviously, a bunch of that money will probably go to Jamar Chase eventually.
Yeah.
And then Indy, for our sake, is at number 10 right now. I don't know if this includes the tag or not.
Oh, yeah. We don't know that, yeah.
And then same thing with Houston. I don't know if this includes the Dalton Schultz who resigned last week.
As well, yeah.
Last news. Another Eagle has officially retired. Fletcher Cox.
Yeah.
Announces it.
Super Bowl winner. Fletcher Cox, regarded as one of the top D linemen, D tackles, of his time, of when he was playing. Probably is because of Jason Kelce and him just going at it at practice all the time, just making those guys, each of them better and better.
12 seasons, I think he was also around that time too.
Yeah, so they're just getting each other better and better, going up at each other, two of the best in their position in practice every single day. So, yeah, congratulations, Fletcher Cox. You won a Super Bowl. You had a great career. So, hope retirement serves you well.
All right, let's move on to some soccer. We have a juicy EPL title race on our hands.
Manchester City and Liverpool put on a show today, which ended in a 1-1 draw. In my opinion, Liverpool looked like the more dangerous team, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
Right? City were the better team in the first half. Mohamed Salah coming back off the bench, who obviously made a difference. Incredible pass with Luis Diaz, who was probably Liverpool's worst player, I would say. Dangerous, but he was that player that made $1 million moves with a 10-cent finish. But
not clinical.
10-cent finish.
Because when I was watching him, like, this guy's running through everybody.
He's running through everyone, but he missed sitters.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way you cannot finish that Mohamed Salah pass. There's another one that happened instantly after. Like, I thought, okay, Liverpool would win this game if that was Mohamed Salah in that position.
Yeah.
Or honestly, even Darwin Nunez.
So because of that, Arsenal has now taken the lead after beating Brentford just barely 2-1. And they're only on first place because they're ahead of goal difference on Liverpool. So they're both at 64 points. City's just 1 point behind. Villa's out of the race now. They're at 55. They're battling for 4. They lost to Tottenham 4-0. Pretty bad.
They had a red card
as well. Game. And then Man United at 6th right there. Again, we're still sticking with City. Nothing's going to change. We already dropped that video. But I'm glad we have a 3-way race.
It's been a while since
that's going to probably go. It's 10 more games remaining.
It's been a while since we had a 3-way race.
Yeah.
Because it was last year was City Arsenal, which ended honestly early. City destroyed.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago was City Liverpool came down to the day.
Yeah.
And obviously Liverpool had won. The one Liverpool won, they destroyed.
Yeah.
And then
we never had a 3-team race.
It was always City, Liverpool.
City and someone.
It was City and someone.
That's it.
Yeah, legit.
So yeah, 3-team race. This is gonna be fun. So just keep an eye on that. Champions League back this week as well. We already made our predictions from the last week, so check out that predictions video. We're not gonna go too much into it, but where we are gonna get into is a good fight weekend. UFC 299. Let's start off there.
Yeah. Sean O'Malley defeated Marlon Vera. Fight went the distance, but it was domination by Sean O'Malley, and impressive performance. First time ever getting past the 3rd round. And
Cheeto's still not knocked down, considered.
Cheeto is still not knocked down. Cheeto has an incredible chin and incredible heart as well, but it was Sean O'Malley's night.
Yeah.
And he showed why that he could be a champion for a long time here. Obviously, he's going to have some tests. You called out Ilya Topuria.
But it should be Merab.
But Merab is going to be a big test.
So here's my thing with this fight. I have no issues that he fought Cheeto because he claims he's undefeated because of the injury that Cheeto beat him in. Cheeto beat him. That's why he probably wanted to get revenge on that and show people why. He proved that. And Cheeto's probably like, I want that chance because I'm the only one who beat him. But this is why when you see fights like this that do not deserve that opportunity, I didn't think Cheeto fully deserved it as much as Merab did, right? Or even an Aljo rematch if that was in the works. It shows why. You saw it with Covington because coming out of retirement, or not retirement, but after a while to take on Leon Edwards. That was at least Cheeto showed heart.
Well, you
saw Edwards dominate pretty much 4 of those 5 rounds.
This is nothing compared to the Kobe one, yeah.
Yeah, but then even in this one, it was pure domination.
It was pure domination.
Like he was a step faster, like commentary said.
Yeah. Okay, let's not like Cheeto and Kobe Covington. There's no. Yes, was it a main event? Did it end up being a main event worthy fight? No way, it was not. But at the end of the day, the build-up was main event worthy. The story was main event worthy, right? Cheeto actually fights, unlike Kobe Covington. Yeah. So I understand. It made sense why it was the case. It just
felt weird because he was a 5th ranked guy.
Yeah, no, well. But I think Strickland was a 5th ranked guy when he first Izzy as well.
Yeah, but that one was because Drake is pulled out as well.
No, that's true too. Yeah.
So this one, like, I have no issues that they fought. Like, I'm gonna make that clear. But it showed why he did not deserve the title opportunity when he did.
I think he just had the story. He had the case.
That's why. And he's Dana's boy.
It's not even a Cheeto deserving the opportunity. It was O'Malley wanting it.
That too.
It was O'Malley wanting it. That's a different story.
People are also saying that because O'Malley wanted the cheaper guy, or not the cheaper guy, the weaker guy.
Yeah,
because Corey Sandhagen was ranked higher and he deserves an opportunity. Yeah. And then obviously Merab.
Like, were there guys that deserved more? Obviously Merab deserved it. Sandhagen deserved it, right? But it was O'Malley's doing at the end of the day.
That's fine. Next fight, it should be Merab. I don't want to see him go up to avoid. It's like, I don't have anyone. There is someone in the division for you.
Yeah.
Right. But moving on, the co-main event, Saint Denis versus Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, Saint Denis was been on a good run. I honestly, it was an aggressive fight, right? Saint Denis was in Poirier's face, and if it went the distance, I think Saint Denis would have probably gotten a decision. But
to be fair, that was just the first round.
It was second round, was it?
No, I mean it was like 1.5 round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 rounds total.
5.
Oh, it was 5?
Yep.
Oh, okay, never mind. I take back everything I said.
It's 5.
I thought it was 3 rounds the whole time.
No, it was 5.
Okay, I tripped out.
It was one of the few non-title fights that went 5 rounds. That's not the main event.
But Poirier came out,
and he proved it. He shut people up again.
And he's honestly, Poirier's been probably put himself in a title picture as well.
Yeah, he said he wants Makhachev. I still think Makhachev needs to fight Oliveira first. But then Gaethje's in that picture as well, and Gaethje beat Poirier
as well,
and
right?
also knocked him out. So it's in a weird position. Gaethje's obviously fighting for the BMF again, which is finally being defended with Holloway at UFC 300.
And then also you're looking at, I think there was news saying that Poirier and Makhachev could happen in June.
Yeah.
As well. So we'll see what happens. I do believe it should be Makhachev and Oliveira for sure.
Then it should be, if there is out of between the two, unfortunately, since Gaethje beat you, it has to be Gaethje.
I guess, yeah.
Poirier deserves, I think, they deserve at least one chance to limelight before they call it a career, because he is 35, so he'll get it. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's Makhachev's world. He's going to run through it. They're going to get the opportunities, but he's going to run through them. The only one that'll give him the tough competition will be Charles Oliveira, as long as, I think he might need a tune-up fight because it's been a while for Charles as well.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be October, right?
Yeah, and then that's when
he got injured.
Yeah. Petr Yan ended his losing streak. He's back. Let's see how long he gets a title shot, because there was the debate that he beat Sean O'Malley the first time as well.
Yeah.
Then Michael Venom Page.
A good debut for Michael Venom Page.
He is an entertaining fighter now that I see why people loved him in Bellator.
Yeah, exactly. And
then YKSI has his fight style.
Exactly. Yeah, as well.
and then Gilbert Burns, that one he was actually winning the fight going into the 3rd round.
What was his name?
He got knocked out.
Melladonna,
something like that.
Yeah, it was an incredible knockout by him.
But let's switch over where I think we have thoughts more so.
Yeah, let's just start off with the co-main event.
Okay, you want to very quickly go with that?
Yeah, Joseph Parker is on a run. He is now a title holder. I don't know what title. There's a lot of titles. Yeah, it's a heavyweight title, but like there's a lot of titles in boxing. Joseph Parker edged out Jaylee Zhang. Zhang had 2 knockdowns in that fight, and probably had the first 2 rounds of the fight. Definitely had the lead after the first 4 rounds, but after that point, Joseph Parker just took over.
Yeah, it wasn't even just he took over. Zhang just took the Wilder book, but the difference is he just thought he was winning because he had the knockdowns.
Yeah, so he thought he was winning.
Surprised at the end of the fight. And unfortunately, as the commentary had said, rounds matter, not the one moment matters, right? I could knock you down 2 straight rounds, but then that doesn't mean you won the fight, because especially in the later rounds, you did not do anything.
Exactly, and Zhang just took his foot off the gas, basically.
But there might be a rematch between the two, but we're not here to talk about that fight exactly. We're here to talk about Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua, which was pure domination, second round, clean knockout. Ngannou needed an oxygen tank to get some oxygen in him.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was definitely brutal. A clean knockdown in the first round, a clean knockdown in the second round, then instantly right down when Ngannou got up. A brutal knockout from Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has proven that he is back. And honestly, if it wasn't for Ngannou, just being so good against Fury as well, obviously Fury taking it terribly, Anthony Joshua proved why that day was a good day in boxing, and proved why that Fury and Ngannou fight was a bad day for boxing. Because you can't just have a guy come in and almost take out one of the best guys in boxing at that time is Tyson Fury. But Anthony Joshua is a different beast. Probably the best Anthony Joshua we've seen, for sure. Even better than his title runs early on. And he's focused, he's driven. And because of Ngannou doing so well against Fury and getting destroyed by Joshua, the winner of Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury should be facing Anthony Joshua, especially if it's Tyson Fury.
Yeah, the Usyk one will be a little bit of tough.
Usyk is going to be tough, yeah.
Assuming he wins, right?
Yeah.
But, okay, so I'm going to take it this. I agree with everything you said. The biggest winner and the biggest loser, not including the fighters, because obviously there's a big winner and loser. The biggest winner is Dana White, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The biggest loser is Tyson Fury. And I agree with what Dana White said. If Fury just showed up in shape, this is what we expected Fury to do, right?
Exactly.
I wholeheartedly believed that when we did that, we didn't do a proper preview because we think that was what's going to happen.
Yeah, we knew, yeah.
It did not, right? And, to many people's eyes, they thought Fury lost that fight against Ngannou, not taking credit away from Ngannou. But it says more about Fury now, after seeing this, than it does about Ngannou actually doing what he did, because Fury himself decided to show up out of shape, thought it was a sparring fight, whatever the case may be, make a few bucks, obviously in this case a few $million, and move on, right? The thing with Fury, that was the best case scenario for him. Now, especially what Joshua just did, he's probably even more motivated. So in a way, good on Fury. That for Fury not to learn from that. That's gonna be good for Fury, right?
Oh, he should learn from that.
He should learn it, and he seems like it. He's way in shape right now.
Yeah.
Right. So unfortunately, he had that eye injury. Otherwise, we would have been talking about potentially Fury Joshua.
The lineup right now.
Right? But that fight's happening in May, so we have to wait a couple of months. Ngannou, even after that fight, I was like, I think he still should have went after Deontay Wilder and not Anthony Joshua.
Oh yeah.
Because at the end of the day, on record, he still lost that Fury fight, right? And I thought, like I said, the reason why I gave Ngannou, I said Joshua will dominate the fight and win by unanimous, but I gave respect to Ngannou because of what he did against Fury. No one's surprised. I don't think you're surprised that Joshua did that in Ngannou.
No.
At the end of the day, because there are two different types of combat sports.
It's not because of Ngannou being bad. It's because how good Joshua has been
and
lately.
That the other guy's an MMA fighter.
Yeah, no. Obviously, that's the reason. But like my reasoning was that I wasn't surprised because I've seen what Joshua's been doing. Each of his last 4 fights has just been leveled up each and every time. He had that knockout against, I think, Helenius in his last fight.
Yeah. Or Wallin.
Or it was Wallin, yeah, Wallin.
Before that was Helenius.
Yeah, before that was Helenius. And now he knocked out Francis Ngannou. And it's not like I'm not saying I was expecting better from Ngannou, don't get me wrong. But it wasn't because Ngannou was the MMA fighter, that was my reasoning. My reasoning was Joshua is becoming that guy again.
Yeah.
and he is that guy.
Even in the Helenius fight, Joshua wasn't there fully because everybody still thought if Deontay Wilder just hits him, he'll get KO'd.
Yeah, no, right? But each and every fight from that point, even the fight before, I think the Helenius fight was better than this fight before.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Waldine fight was better than the Helenius one, and this one topped them all.
Yeah, I think Ngannou may have also, in Punjabi we say Chambalaya, because he went up against the best heavyweight, who I still think is the best heavyweight, in Tyson Fury, and almost beat him, right? And then he probably let that go to his head. I don't know. I don't know him personally or anything like that, but that's what I'm going to just go off of, right? And I won't be surprised if that was the case. Flip side, like I said, Joshua, at the same time, as much as I also picked Joshua to dominate this fight, we only seen one fight where Joshua looked that dedicated, and now he's proved it again that he's dedicated. He didn't even celebrate after. He was humble, everything like that. So yeah, this performance made it a debate. Now, if Fury Joshua happens, for me it was easy Fury, right? We'll see what Fury does. I don't know. Yeah. No, before. Yeah. For me it was easy Fury.
If Fury wins, I don't know who will win between Fury and Joshua.
Yeah, but now it's a debate.
Yeah, it's a debate.
Before it was easy Fury.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's gonna be the thing I'm looking out for. Francis Ngannou obviously started off his career with, I guess, 2 of the 3 best heavyweights in the world, right? Obviously the best, and then the 3rd best because Usyk is obviously up there. He needs to fight Wilder because they're similar in fights.
Yeah,
they're similar. They're punch men.
They're just power.
They're power, and or even if he wants to fight Zhilei Zhang, but if he wants money, the bigger name is gonna be Deontay Wilder.
Yeah,
and I thought he should have taken the Deontay Wilder fight next, and not Anthony Joshua. Unfortunately, the money was this, and Joshua said this was his speed bump, I guess, because it clearly was. And he's going to focus on whoever he wants to fight again soon. I don't know who will that be. It could be Joseph Parker. It could be someone else. Wilder needs to get back in the ring. I don't want him to come back again 3 years later and fight again. But
Wilder's already
that's our overall thoughts.
Wilder's already like 41, so he can't afford to do that.
Yeah, so Ngannou needs to come back. I think if he wants, I would say take an easier fight. But because he's a crossover guy, I should be Wilder, in my opinion. And on the flip side, Anthony Joshua, just take whoever's the best opponent available for you. And in this case, it's Joseph Parker. But it looks like Joseph Parker's getting a rematch clause. There's a rematch clause in that fight, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's going to be Fury or Usyk for Joshua now.
All right, let's move on quickly. Joey Votto is back. The future Hall of Famer is joining his boyhood club that he grew up cheering for.
Minor league contract for Joey Votto.
With the Toronto Blue Jays?
The Toronto Blue Jays, are signed Joey Votto to a minor league contract, 1-year deal. Votto saying himself he's not out. He wants to play still. He still believes he has the ability to play still. Obviously, it was a couple years ago when we saw Votto go on a home run streak. Not a hit streak, a home run streak, right? So we'll see what he has left in the tank. Is it going to really impact the Jays? No, it's not. But who knows if he turns back the clock. It might be an unsung hero for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Blake Snell put a story about, I don't know if it was the eyes emoji, so let's see how soon he signs. And I don't know about Jordan Montgomery at the moment. But let's move on. Before we close out with some NBA, I have a question for you there. Some NHL news just popped up. Number 1, John Tortorella, up to his old antics in a way, suspended 2 games for outburst towards ref. He received a hefty fine of $50,000, which is a lot for NHL standards.
That is, yeah.
He did not want to leave the bench after he got ejected. I don't know. They ended up losing that game 7-0 overall. At that point, it was 4-0 in the first, halfway through the first. So it was at the 9-11 mark. They were already down 4-0.
Wow.
And yeah, so he was upset over the 10-minute misconduct on Philadelphia forward Garnet Hathaway, and was handed moments earlier for shoving Lightning center Anthony Cirelli Hathaway was shoving Anthony Cirelli after the whistle. I'm like, wait, Tortorella on the ice?
It's classic Torts, right? I don't think we could go each season without hearing a Torch story like this. And suspended 2 games, obviously.
I wonder what he said that led to him getting ejected.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right? So it might be a BS ejection. Who knows? At the end of the day, there's no evidence or I have no backing of the refs.
Yeah.
So
Wes McCauley's the guy. I always hear his names in
exactly.
NHL. I am looking at the thing. He is going berserk. Obviously swearing. So I don't know what that swearing led to. But we know what the refs are like nowadays.
Yeah, we know what the refs are like. And we also know what torts are like. Yeah.
Interesting thing I want to your reaction. Matthew Boldy scores an OT winner. The ironic thing is, they were on a 4-on-3, but it wasn't because there was a delayed penalty like how the Canucks won the other day, a couple of nights ago, right? John Hines literally pulled the goalie with a minute to go as Minnesota was bringing the puck up the ice and won the game.
This was one of those decisions where, like, you look like a genius or you look like a fool.
Yeah.
He was a genius.
I would have still thought, like, what the hell are you doing if I was a Wild fan?
You know why? They need every single point they could get.
Yeah, and that's why they're like, that's why they did it. That's the reason why he did it.
And honestly, I love it, right? Like, your back's against the walls, right? You're like that fighter that's losing the fight, but you're in the 12th down. You got to throw punches.
Yeah.
Right? John Hines threw a punch. He probably wilded out the puck in the offensive zone, pulled the goalie, get the extra guy out there. And there's a minute left, right? It's smart thing. It's smart in the sense of that, like, you know, one, they're probably going to ice it, right? The puck, because they're probably
going for the empty net. But if they also clear it, it could go in the net.
It could go in the net, yeah. There's always a chance of that. It's an empty net. But in the sense that there's only a minute left, you have the puck possession, and we already know how overtime puck possession works, right? Like, the team that usually gets the puck first kind of has it for, like, the first 2 minutes of overtime. So in that sense, he was confident that Wild were going to have the puck the whole time for the whole minute. Pulled the goalie, got the goal, got their extra point. They're going to need a lot more wins. But it's a genius move and a genius way to potentially start a win streak.
Yeah, because they entered the game trailing Nashville by 10 points. But obviously, me being a little bit conservative, I'm like, you could still take your chances on the shootout as well.
Yeah, you can, for sure.
But gutsy plays, I feel like if more
shootouts 50-50, bro.
True.
At the end of the day. This was more of a chance overtime.
Oh, so by rule, if the Predators had scored on the empty net to win the game in overtime, the Wild wouldn't have received a point for the OT loss. As a rule.
That's a rule?
Yeah.
Why is that a rule?
So what Ryan Hartman said, he was aware of this rule, but he loved the decision by Hines. So it wasn't like he was going to get 1 point out of this as well. Now, does that change your perspective?
No, you need the 2 points. It's the best way to get it.
Even at the risk of not getting one.
You need two. It doesn't matter. One's not going to get you anywhere.
Do you see more teams doing this now? And if the Canucks, if Talkett were to do this.
No, it makes no sense for Canucks.
No, I'm just saying in general. If you see Talkett were to do this.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the hell's wrong with you? You're not in the same spot. There's just Minnesota's in that spot to do it. And it's incredible. I've never seen it done before as well. So, yeah, incredible decision by John Hines.
So, if you are Ryan Huska.
He's for Calgary, yeah. I mean, they're sellers anyways. They don't have.
No, I'm just saying, like, they're still right there.
I don't see it.
No, I mean, would you see them, like, if they were to do this, would you be like, yes, good job, do that?
Yeah, no, because, like, in the sense of, like, you know, if you score, you got your 2 points.
But if you don't, you're like the biggest idiot.
Your rebuild is gonna happen. So it's a win-win for Calgary if they do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So Calgary's in the perfect spot. It's honestly perfect for Calgary.
I do want to see it more just to see every fan base's reaction when their team does
it's perfect for Calgary.
Listen, I don't mind the Canucks just doing it because they're already up there. if that's the reason.
No, man, the Canucks
not in the playoffs, obviously.
Bro, they're gonna get freaking. There's gonna be issues going on if the Canucks ever do that.
Okay.
Honestly, the Devils should do it. They basically have no goalie anyways.
True. They should 6-5 the whole game.
Just 6-5 the whole game, yeah.
NBA. I want to get your reaction on this. We're not going to talk much about the NHL. Like I said, check out the trade deadline video. We'll talk about it more after the NFL free agency dies down. NBA, similar vibe. We'll touch on this one topic, though. Currently, the 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds in the Western Conference are KD, Beal's Bucks, Suns. The 8 seed is Luka, Kyrie's Dallas Mavericks. The 9 seed is AD, LeBron's Lakers. And the 10 seed is Steph's Warriors.
It's a star-studded, all-star, superstar potential, all of them, in the plans.
If you look at this right now, how pissed would you be if you're the OKC Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Yeah, I'll be scared. I'll be really scared. I wouldn't want to be first place. I'll say that right now. If this is a play-in. Because
as much as I think OKC can win it this year, they're lacking a big man away. Their best bet would be like, the Warriors get it. If that's the case.
Their best bet is either Warriors or Mavericks, I would say.
Yeah. Because defensively, they're insane. They're so good defensively.
The Thunder?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, look at Shea. He's been one of the leaders in steals.
But yeah, so if you were to, again, just very quick reaction. We're not going to go too much in depth. Who are your two teams coming out of this bloodbath? Keep in mind, the Lakers and the Warriors have to go through 2 wins.
Yeah.
At this moment.
That's like we've seen Lakers being a play-in, but they've always been the 7th or 8th seed.
7th, yeah.
Right? So they always had to play the one game. We haven't seen them do it as a 9 to 10, right? The Warriors, I don't think the Warriors are gonna get in. Suns, I think they're in. Suns, I think they're good. I think the second game will be between
Dallas and Lakers.
Dallas and Lakers, and that'll be a toss-up for sure.
If you were to pick one, betting man.
I'm not a betting. I'm just kidding. But I am not a betting man. I'm not kidding about that. But I'll pick one. I'm leaning towards Lakers just because they always seem a way to find a way, to show up in the big games. Right? And they had an incredible W against the Bucks recently as well. D'Angelo Russell is your unsung hero of that team. So who knows what he could do.
And then right now the Clippers seem to be a lock for the 4th seed because they're 3 games back of first. The Nuggets and Timberwolves are half behind the OKC Thunder. But it's gonna be, imagine seeing. Let's just say one of these guys climb, the Pelicans fall off a bit. The first round could be a Clippers Lakers or a Clippers Suns.
Yeah, no, West is so stacked, right? Like you're gonna see a potential big series, right? Yeah. Like you could easily see a Nuggets Suns.
Yeah.
Right? You could easily see a Nuggets Lakers. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap it there. We'll talk about more NHL, NBA next time. But yeah, once again, we appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you guys like the video, comment your thoughts down below. Where your favorite free agent or team will sign in free agency.
Who your
team will sign in free agency. Maybe your favorite free agent, a player you like. Where do you think he'll end up? The top free agents as well. Make sure you guys subscribe. We're at 451 subscribers. Help us reach that 500. Audio listeners, make sure you guys continue rating the pod, downloading it, and reviewing it as well. And follow our socials link down below. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.